Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, as always, I like to give all praise, honor, glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, and peace and blessings unto the elect. All right, so I want to do this sit down on what's going on, and there's a lot going on as far as the downfall of America, and this video is just going into more job layoffs that's happening. As you can see, the title of this video, something to the effect of, job openings, tumble mass, layoffs start, McDonald's layoffs. And then you also have, which I posted it on the feed, on my YouTube feed earlier. We put it up on my phone. It says, which I post a lot of things on my feed. It says Walmart joins layoff wave in consumer industry along with McDonald's. So, man, there's a lot of people getting laid off from work right now. Right, which that all goes into 2 Timothy, the 3rd chapter, on how we're living in perilous times. Which is what? When you go into the word for perilous, is the Greek word chalepos, which means, difficult, burdensome, and hard to bear. Right, 2 Timothy 3 verse 1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come, which we're currently in the last days, clearly. What up? Trying to go into the word. It's a little difficult because I can't really see where the cursor is at because my laptop screen is cracked. All right, but since I know it out of my head, all praises. When you go into math, let me go ahead and do this so I can see. Yep. Gotta do that. Boom. Here we go. So now, I'll go into the Greek word for chalepos. Greek word for perilous is the Greek word chalepos, which means troublesome, or dangerous, or fierce, or difficult. We're clearly in difficult times. All these job layoffs that's happening, these people are losing their jobs. That means that they're losing their income. That means that they're gonna have to sacrifice a lot of things. Or let's just say somebody's used to a certain lifestyle and they got laid off. Now they're gonna have to compromise. Now they're gonna have to switch things up. Maybe somebody was making a lot of money and was sending their children to private schools. Now they gotta withdraw the children from private schools and send them to a public school, right? Making these people compromise. And that's going to drive a lot of people crazy. That's going to make people wanting to commit suicide, which that's going to increase because of how troublesome and burdensome this time is. And this is all the work and the doing of the Heavenly Father. But who's he's using? He's using his sword, Esau. Esau is a sword. Psalm 17 and verse 13. It says, arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. You see that? So Esau is the sword of the Most High. And he's being used to destroy. He's being used to disrupt the living of mankind. Because this is all manufactured by Esau. That's because Esau really wants to destroy and build and rebuild back up, which pursuant to the book of Malachi, the 1st chapter, you're not going to be able to do that. Esau's ultimately wants to bring in his new world order. That's why all these things are crashing. But really, the bigger picture is the nation of Israel coming into power. That's why all these things are happening as well. So this is Sirach 34 and 21. The bread of the needy is their life. He that defraudeth him thereof is a man of blood. Esau is a man of blood because he's defrauding the needy of their life, of their income. How many people in America has multiple streams of income? Not a lot. How many people in America have racks just stacked up in their account? Not a lot of people. And Esau knows this. That's why he's failing the banks. That's why he's doing these mass layoffs. Just so that he can see the people fail, essentially. Verse 22, he that taketh away his neighbor's living slayeth them. That's right, which that goes hand in hand with jobs, and also that goes hand in hand with evictions as well. Because we all know that you have people that's getting evicted out of their homes. People in Detroit, Georgia, or New York, many other places as well. So what Esau is doing is slaying these people, killing these people. Matter of fact, let's jump here because we know to the Sirach 29 and verse 21. What is the chief things for mankind to live by? Sirach 29 and 21. The chief thing for life is water and bread and clothing and a house to cover shame. And how can you get all those things if you're just if you don't have no job? See what I'm saying? So Esau is a man of blood. So now let me go ahead and play this real fast. All right, I'm gonna be hopping around.
Talk about layoffs. There is so many news articles about layoffs. I couldn't even hit them all in this. We're gonna briefly go over some of them. We're gonna talk about the unemployment rate and all of that. So let me get a little sip. Let's dive right in. Now, we've been warning about this because these are the great indicators, the signs of the times changing, right? The last 2 years, we have had problems getting tons of employers like myself with the construction company have had hard times getting more and more qualified people, but not only qualified people, but just people to show up and do a job, do what they're asked to do, not show up, under the influence of something. Honestly, it is insane what business owners have been trying to do. Put down in the comments what kind of issues you've had going out to a restaurant where literally one half of the restaurant is full, and it's not because there isn't a line out the door or you're unable to get a reservation. It's because they simply don't have enough wait staff, chefs.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. That's why even at grocery stores, it be packed. Why is that? Because the stores only have about 3 people working. And it's totally insane. It's totally insane.
Cooks, dishwashers to be able to service that restaurant being full. So it is absolutely insane. And there are more and more businesses closing down by the day, which is going to add to the velocity of this collapse. As a matter of fact,
let me go ahead and grab this real fast. On that note, this Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter and the first verse. It says, remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Jump down to verse 3. It says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few. See that? The grinding is cease, because there are few. Few what? Workers. It says, and those that look out the windows be darkened, and the doors shall be shut in the streets, when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. All these businesses is being shut, is going out of it ain't no more work. All these different businesses is shutting down. And that's all according to biblical prophecy. And there's going to be more layoffs. More businesses are going to be shut down. So let's go back to it.
Before I dive into these stories, and I thank you so much for hitting the thumbs up button, guys, to get this going. How many of you have seen this lately? Because I am hearing this left and right. And even though I am no longer owning a construction company, we shut that down because of what is coming. I'm preparing now.
See, even him, he shut down his own business. That's all biblical prophecy, man. This is, and the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. And that is all a metaphor or symbolic of working. When work is low. I remember on TikTok, everybody is saying like, yo, man, I can't even get a job. I can't even find a job. And you had people in the comment section that was like, damn, I thought it was just me. I can't get a job either. Grinding is low. Grinding is cease. All these companies are laying people off. Why is that? Because they're all preparing for what's to come, and they're all trying to save money, so to speak. Not knowing that Esau is trying to do away with cash anyway. Everything is becoming digital.
Now, how many of you have been trying to get something done on your home for literally the last year or two and always getting the same exact story from your contractor or anyone working on your house? Hey, I'm slammed, these crazy prices. Only now to be getting phone calls left and right from people that are checking in to see if you still have a need for construction. The point being is right now, things are falling off of a cliff fast. People are not building and doing as many things as they once were. So construction is getting hit right now. As a matter of fact, there was a story.
Yep, and that's the field that I'm in. Construction, and man, shoot. And Mosai knows that I've been submitting all these applications to get work, and I haven't gotten any. A lot of these companies, a lot of these companies are not hiring, or they're just trying to keep it, understaffed, because ain't no money. There's not a lot of money coming in.
My buddy Chris Taylor from Financial Prepper told me, and I'm totally blanking out on it. And I wanted to share it because it was such a good story. But it was about that exact same thing where we were talking about the whole idea of somebody calling you back when all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, I thought you were slammed, you were busy, but it's happening more and more often. And it had to do with one of his suppliers for his welding company. So people now need more work. And right now, the proof is in the pudding. Check this out. Out of CNBC's breaking news, job openings tumbled below 10 million in February for the first time in nearly 2 years. It says available positions totaled 9.93 million, a drop of 632,000, which is on a percentage basis a lot. From January's downwardly revised number, very important to remember that, downwardly revised number, according to the Labor Department's JOLTS report. Now, I've been telling you about for years, watch the revised numbers, okay? Because they put out a narrative, they put out numbers, and then later on they go, oh yeah, we miscalculated those. And they're always to the downside. It's never hey, it's better than we thought, it's better. It's never like that, okay? That's them trying to pump or juice the markets for as much momentum as it can get, all right? People need to understand that. Now, I'm going to show you unemployment numbers and where we are, because this is actually so staggering. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you right now. Check this out. I'm just going to show you my computer. This is high tech, right? Because the Ninja doesn't edit. So you got this chart of unemployment, and you could see right here, that's that COVID spike on this side, that insane spike where just the nation was shut down and all of a sudden everybody was unemployed. And you go, yeah, but Ninja, look right there. That looks like we're nothing. Okay, this is what I'll show you. This right here, this area right here, will get out of the reflection, right there was what happened, and let me get the date. That was in 2007 or 2006, sorry. Right as it troughed, it peaked, and then it started to cruise up, right? And that was when everything started to fall apart in the economy. That's when the housing started to come off of its highs. That's when you were seeing the stock market coming off its highs, and that's where we are right now. So if you sit there and think for 1 second that this is a good spot, we're actually right at the bottom, and everything's about to be exploding, and I'm going to show you through the news headlines. I'm going to show you all of the tens of thousands of jobs that are being lost right now, every week, right now in the country. And now we're seeing the job openings lessen, because it's a two-part thing that the media doesn't really want you to know. And that is, unemployment is good. Employment's good. We're at good employment numbers. But as jobs start to fall, that's also an indicator that companies not only, because we have companies laying people off, but also they're like, there's just not enough job openings. We're figuring things out, or consolidating, or we're closing stores, or, hey, you know what? That store is just not in business at all. We're done. So there's less job openings, where last month there was a restaurant that needed a full wait staff, but this month it closed its doors. So those job openings are gone. All right. And they're not going to come back until another restaurant opens its doors, opens up a store and starts over. But this is the beginning of the downward spiral. Okay. And that's what I like to do with this channel. And if you haven't done so and you think this is good information, because I like to show people what's happening in real time, and then I can actually project a little bit into the future, because these cycles are totally predictable and normal, because it all comes down to human emotion and behavior. And that's why, I was an investor before the .com crash, and then I was an investor also before the real estate crash. And I actually pivoted on both those and made some money. Actually, really, it's not about making money, it's about saving money. So, okay, the the JOLTS report. Job openings.
Well, let me pause this real quick and just grab this precept, because I want to play some more. It's a very important point in this video that I want to play. So just bear with me. This is Isaiah 19:14. It says, Yahweh hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Verse 15. It says, neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. And that's what we're seeing. There is no work for individuals living here in America. Another sign of a failing society. And this is only going to escalate the crime rate as well. This is all designed. Like I said earlier, this is all designed by Esau Edom. Because really, Esau Edom's trying to drive the elites anyway. It's trying to just drive America down, man. And they're trying to, and they want to rebuild it back up, essentially, wherever they may want to do it at. Showing you the pride of the elites of Esau. All right, because like I said earlier, this is only driving the kingdom of heaven quicker. This is what all these prophecies are doing. It's ushering in the kingdom of heaven. But the pride of these devils have deceived them. So let me keep going. Let me skip to around the 11-minute mark. All right, you want to stay for this.
2022. The central bank has raised benchmark interest rates 9 times since March 22, but those moves have been appearing to have little impact on the job situation. See, the thing is that they have, oh wow, check this out. Let me stop it right there. They have a situation where they're doing something, they're raising rates, and it has no effect until all of a sudden it has an effect all at once. And that's what you're going to see right here. ZX Hondo actually threw out a super chat and check this out. Heads up, Ninja, literally just got off the phone with General Dynamics. 1,200 people laid off today. This is thank you for putting that in there. This is very, very serious, and people need to understand how big of a deal this is. So, okay, we're talking about job openings. Now let's go over here. I've shown you the unemployment rate chart. And again, there's so many people that think everything's good, because what the government does, they go, these are the numbers. We have historically low unemployment. Look at that. Look at that. And if you look at that number as compared, if you drew a line across that entire thing, that would show you are at historic lows, but you're not. Guess what? Guess the last time this was at? This was at 1970.
Woo!
Right there.
1970. Why is that a key year? We've been going into this. Why is this a key year? 1970. Everybody should know this. I'm going to get in a second.
1970 is when everything started to come apart, and as the unemployment ticked up through the mid-70s into late 70s, inflation exploded.
Woo.
We had a lot of problems, all right?
A lot of problems started happening in America at 1970. Why is that? This is Daniel chapter 7 and verse 25. It says, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, which the heathen with the little horn of America, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand and his power until a time in the dividing of times. What is that symbolic of? 350 years, right? From 1619, 1620, when the bulk of the slaves came over here to America, to 1969, 1970, for when the Israelites, all right, the truth came on the scene, when Elder Abba Bivens came on the scene, all right? and the truth started to get propagated, to get pushed out. The true truth, right? Because there was always Israelites around, but there were Torah only, essentially. It wasn't really dealing with the New Testament. So when 1969, 1970 came on the scene, that's when, right, the school of One West came about. And here we are today. The Heavenly Father set that up strategically. When the true truth started to get spread, that's when the downfall of Esau's kingdom started. It's Revelation chapter 11 and verse 11. Beautiful. And after 3 days and a half, that's that 350-year period, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them. Was that spirit of life from the Most High, the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them, which is dealing with our enemies, predominantly Esau, Edom. Let's keep going.
It can turn on a dime. Unworthy servant, just, let's change that to worthy servant. I love that name much better because it gives you clarity and peace and vision. And thank you so much for the super chat. All right, so check this out. So I've shown you the chart. Now let's dive into headlines because this is getting serious. And I told you guys to mark my words. By the fall, you're going to see 10,000 jobs a day gone. And there'll be a point in time where we'll be able to go back and say, oh, look, this is what the ninja said, and here it happened. All right.
If we even make it that far. All right, so I'm going to end off on that. Yahweh Tazah. If you brothers and sisters were edified, till next time, shalom.